Okay, I'm just trying to follow pretty closely what I did over here. I think I did like something like 8.5. I'm just going to go into this viewport right here to see for sure. And it's about 9 because I'm lining up these edges right here, and I can see that I used the unit of 9 to do it. Okay, now that that's done, we can finally clean up these edges out here that I just created. So you're going to want to target weld that to that, and that to that, and then just simply backspace the edges you don't need. Same with the vertices. And just to make sure the triangulation occurred correctly when you deleted the edges, go into polygon mode, edit triangulation, and as you can see we got this edge right here that's screwing up, so go into edit triangulation and hold on. Go into turn and select the edges that aren't triangulating correctly. By edges I mean these dotted lines which represent the triangles. So as you can see, every vertice seems to be connected to each other in a way that's acceptable, and there are no visual errors that I can see right now, so everything should be fine. Okay, now that that's done, we can move on to creating the bars. I'm gonna go ahead and delete this reference I created earlier because we have the exact same thing right now. So I'm going to delete that and bring this closer to my original model over here. As you can see, there are some bars covering the holes, so I'm going to create those over here. They're pretty simple. You just create a cylinder, pull up, set it to height segments of 1, sides 5, because you're not really going to be looking down there that much. And actually, just to make it look a little bit better, give it 6 sides. Okay, turn off smooth because we'll re-smooth it later on, but right now it just gets in the way. Go ahead and give it a radius of, we'll see once we put it in here. Just kind of decrease the radius until it looks good. I'm going to give it a radius of 2.5 because I don't want it too thick or it'll look unrealistic. Okay, then you just kind of want to center it to your face right here. So I'm going to go back into my model, attach it to this newly created bar right there, delete the bar's top and bottom faces. I'm going to select this face right here, copy the coordinates from the y-axis and paste them onto the bar so it's centered with it. Now, as you can see, the bar is obviously too long, so to fix that, I'm going to go back to the same face, go into the height section, select the border around the bottom, which is an open edge. I was talking to you about that earlier. Paste. and do the exact same thing with the top. Copy and paste. Alright. Now we want to center this bar in the middle of it. So once again, go back into this polygon. This time on the x-axis. Copy coordinates and paste it over. Now what we want to do is copy this so there's 3 bars here instead of just 1. So what we want to do is copy this bar and just go into element selection mode, hold down the shift key and then drag it out. Just to whatever looks good. I'm gonna do, just so it's exact, I'm going to, wait, I seem to have made a mistake. Once again, I'm so sorry. I just need to attach it to this because somehow it got separated. Like, what I want to do is realign this bar back with it, and then just so it's exact, I'm going to go into offset world and add 15 units to it, and then I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to drag it out to an element this time because that was my mistake last time. Place it back in the exact same spot. This time subtract 15 units from it on the x-axis. I'll make sure everything's uniform. Alright. Now all we have to do is connect these bars to the bottom and top faces. So begin by deleting the bottom and top, and then just start creating a bunch of faces. There's a few things that can make it faster, which I'm going to show you right now, but for the most part it's just pretty much boring. Alright, so once again we can use the bridge tool I was talking about earlier to create polygons for us instantly. You need an even number of edges to do it, and they have to be facing each other somewhat well, but this can pretty much be used for many circumstances. So just click bridge, select the things, edges, click bridge again, and those are pretty much the only 2 things you can click bridge on right here, because everything else has an odd number of edges. So I'm just going to go into polygon mode, click on the create button, and just start creating polygons. This is pretty self-explanatory right here, so I'm not going to say much. Alright, now everything there looks good. We just need to connect the top face now. So we just do the exact same thing. Select these edges. Same as over here. Click bridge. Select these. Same with those. Click bridge. and then just start creating stuff at polygons the exact same way we did down there. Alright, everything there looks good, so to save us a lot of work of doing the exact same thing to over here, I'm just going to copy the coordinates of that face on the x-axis. Then I'm going to select everything we have just created and move it over there. So I'm going to select all of that. Pretty much this entire thing. If you don't know how I'm clicking and adding polygons, you hold down the control button, and to unselect one you hold down the alt button and click. Alright, now that everything's selected there, we want to just kind of move this over here right now as an element. Then we want to delete everything inside here. The delete key. Now select this element, copy and paste it in there. As you can see, it made the exact same thing. All we have to do now is connect the edges. We just do that by selecting everything, going into the weld tool, and welding everything by a threshold of 0.1. That'll get rid of any open edges that we might have created by doing that. Okay, everything here looks pretty good, so I'm going to go ahead and finish up this wall right here by creating this inset pipe. It's pretty easy to do. Basically use the same concept that we did here, except make it more rounded. So connect these two edges, go into the connect tool, give it 2 segments, and just so to make it a little bigger, pinch it by a value of 20. That pinch just basically expands or contracts the space in between the two edges. Okay, now that that's done, go ahead and delete this face here. Select the two edges, go into the extrude tool, and extrude it by a value of -15. Go ahead and click the bridge tool to create a face in between those two new edges. Now select these two new edges, connect them once more, but this time a single edge and no pinch. Click OK. Take this newly created edge and just drag it out a little bit past the lip of this ledge right here. Then go into your chamfer tool and do that by a value of about, well, whatever looks good.